Right, so one of the readability issues my game has is how explosions work. What am I doing? Come on, test level, here we are. So the classic way of doing damage in a game is to overlay a sphere. Oh, bollocks, you got me. Overlay a sphere centered at the location of the explosion, and anything that's inside that sphere, do some damage to it. Might vary depending on how close they are to the center of the sphere, but that's pretty boring. It's easy, and it works, it's obvious, relatively. If you're close to the explosion, you take more damage, and you can draw a sprite at the exact size of the explosion sphere and do damage, and it all lines up perfectly. But I don't really like, it's a bit boring, it's a bit dull. I've got no real reason for thinking that, but it just doesn't feel right. It's one of those religious things. So what I've done is modeled shrapnel. So when an explosion goes off, 50 chunks of shrapnel are created at the center of the explosion, and then they're distributed randomly in a circle around that point. And if you get hit by a piece of shrapnel, you take some damage. And there's also a little bit of fudging in there to do special damage to objectives, so you can, if you get a bomb close enough, they'll always die whether or not they're hit with a piece of shrapnel. But anyway, one of the problems with this method is that people often die to their own shrapnel without quite realizing why, because they get hit by a little piece of it that flew out and hit them. They didn't think they were in range, but they were in range. So it's come down to either removing the shrapnel-based damage system or trying to make it more readable such that people don't misinterpret it. Obviously removing the shrapnel system and going back to a normal old damage in a circle would be simpler, but I don't know, I kind of like the damage with shrapnel business. So what I've done is come up with a bit of a compromise. I hope that might work. So where's this guy going to patrol? There. So I've drawn a bunch of lines out from the explosion to the puffs that from the shrapnel. So that gives a bit of readability. Oh, see, there you go. I got hit. It only flashes up for 100 milliseconds, but that's enough to give the idea of what happened. I don't know if it's going to work, if it's going to be readable enough, but it's worth a try, isn't it? Let's make a bit of a better bomb. I'll put a delay, a proximity, and then a bang. I know he's going to walk over here, so I'll chuck a bomb out. Proximity activates. Ah, I missed it. Bastard. I'll chuck one up there. Boom. Got him. So, I don't know. I'll put this in the next version, get some feedback, see what people think. Bye-bye.